everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and I'm here to talk about the comic books that I bought this week for February 19th, 2014. Enough with the intro, let's get into some comics. Starting with DC, from DC Comics we have Animal Man, number 28. Short and sweet. Animal Man pretty much fights Brother Blood and the Evil Totem. It defeats them both and is able to save his daughter, Maxine. And also Maxine, though, she does lose most of her power because she brought back the character Shepard, who was like this giant goat Gandalf. Yeah, so she's able to bring back Goat Gandalf, but apparently exhausts her power. So I don't think that means is able to bring back Cliff. And also the Bridgewalker, that alien being that met with Buddy Baker a few issues ago, it has been observing the whole thing, just as Buddy promises Maxine that he's never going to leave her again. Yeah, unfortunately, Buddy promised the Bridgewalker he'd return to the alien planet and stay there to help protect the Siege planet and the red and the green and stuff. So, how's that going to work out? We don't know. There's only one issue of Animal Man left. It's coming out next month. Obviously, that's going to tie up a lot of loose ends with the series. Mainly the whole Bridgewalker thing, which will involve Buddy going to space to live on an alien planet, while also, and that was the thing with Buddy Baker, was that he was trying to get his marriage back after the death of his son, but he was trying to get his marriage to work again, but so now I think when he has to tell his wife and his daughter that he has to go on an alien planet and leave them again, they're not going to be too happy about it. But hopefully we'll get a happy ending where they can come to the alien planet with him. So that's what I'm hoping out for. But overall, Animal Man was probably one of the best original titles from the New 52. Had lots of positive things. I mean, Jeff Lemire is one of the best writers at DC Comics right now, in my opinion. This is a series that you should definitely check out. If you haven't been reading it, go pick up the trades. After that, I'd say, other than that though, I would say probably, if you haven't been reading it, get the trades. But if you have been reading it, this is definitely a buy. Next up from DC Comics, Justice League number 28. Jeff Johns has done it again. He has actually made me like the Metal Men. And I've seen other reviews for Justice League number 28, and they're both agreeing that they're awesome. That a lot of people are saying that now they like the Metal Men. And it's true. The way the Metal Men are portraying this issue, pretty much it's the entirety of the issue is just Dr. Will Magnus explaining what happened when he first created the Metal Men, that when originally they were created just to be like these sort of robots that they could send on search and rescue missions, but the response meters, which give the Metal Men their form and personalities, each developed their own personalities, and they were really a lot with like their own thoughts and feelings, which made them a lot more human than robotic. And eventually, though, when the government that Will's working for finds out that the Metal Men are working, they decide to send them on an assassination attempt, which Will is against. Then the Metal Men are against, and they escape. Shortly later, they hide in Will's apartment. He finds them there, and they talk about it. Then apparently they're attacked by Chemo, who apparently in the New 52 is also made in the same method as the Metal Men, in which case someone stole the prototype response meter Magnus developed and dropped it into a vat of toxic waste, which created Chemo. And so when Chemo attacks, the Metal Men pretty much just do the number one rule that Will Magnus programmed them for, which was to help people. And they're able to do that. They get people to safety, and then ultimately they sacrifice themselves to destroy Chemo, and they're successful. And when we get back to the present, Cyborg explains that the Metal Men aren't really gone. He notices that he can still sort of sense the their response meters that Dr. Will Magnus was able to save. And however, Will's still against it because he started to see the Metal Men as living beings, and he can't go through this again. And Cyborg tells him that, what would they do? What would the Metal Men want to do right now? And so that kind of like reawakens Will's sense of, that he wants to help and just be like, okay, rule number one, we never leave anyone behind. And then that's what gets Will Magnus to reactivate the Metal Men. So yeah, this issue was great. Like I said, it's great. It really makes you care a lot about the Metal Men. I mean, before this, I didn't really care for... I mean, the Metal Men were interesting, but I never really bothered to read anything with them. Now, though, we're getting a now it's turning out to be something they turn out to be very interesting. I mean, Jeff Johns is able to give each metal a voice. You know, they have their own voice, they have their own like role on this team and stuff, and it's really amazing. And that's why Justice League number 28 is definitely a buy. And that's something interesting that we're doing with Forever Evil, is that we're seeing other lesser known characters of the DC universe. Like last issue, we did get to see a little taste of the Doom Patrol. Now we're getting the Metal Men. So I really hope that we get to see a lot more of those two things soon. So yeah, overall, Justice League number 28, definitely a buy. Alright, now it's time for Marvel, starting off with Captain America number 27. After Captain America and Jet Black take care of a squad of henchmen that are apparently, I think, working for the main villain, the Iron Nail, they pretty much get caught at the S.H.I.E.L.D. base that was destroyed when they brought Nuke in. And when they get there, Maria Hill reveals to Cap that Weapon Minus has escaped and tells him all about how Weapon Minus was basically sort of a weapon, sort of someone they would have to use in case anyone like Captain America, Nuke, or Wolverine, any member of the Weapon Plus program would ever, get out of control. And also, when they say they haven't found Nick Fury Jr. or Falcon, Jet Black is able to use her hypersenses to immediately locate. And pretty much for the rest of the issue, though, we're introduced to Dr. Mind Bubble, who has the ability to sort of create hallucinogen. Who's pretty much known as I believe last issue they called him the psychedelic super soldier, where apparently he tested the super soldier serum on himself laced with LSD, which gave him these sort of illusion-based powers, and he's working with the Iron Nail, and he's pretty much able to control Nick Fury Jr. into thinking that S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra is building a Gungnir or helicarrier, but really it's their plans for S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's tricking them into stealing the plans from S.H.I.E.L.D. Pretty much the opening for this was interesting. We do get to meet our antagonist for this issue. To be honest, right now I'm feeling Captain America number 17 is really borrowed from a friend, but I do think this story arc does have potential, but I don't think you should run out and buy it immediately. I think you should probably if you have a friend who bought it, maybe borrow their copy, or read their copy first, see how you like it. All right, next up from Marvel, Amazing X-Men number 4. Yeah, I wrote 3 on the thing. I don't know why I did that, but it's 4. Anyways, issue 4, the return of Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is able to. Pretty much this issue is kind of the same thing that we had last issue, which was when Nightcrawler meets up with one of the X-Men, we get a little flashback between that X-Men and Nightcrawler. And in this case, we get 2 flashbacks with Beast and Wolverine. We get the Beast flashback when Nightcrawler's trying to calm down Beast after he went feral from last issue. And the flashback we see is that apparently back in I think the Chris Claremont era, when some of the X-Men decide to go out, Beast and Nightcrawler stay in, and they play this cool sort of Danger Room obstacle chess match, which is really funny to see. And after that, though, Nightcrawler after Nightcrawler is able to calm Beast down, he's able to get the BAMFs that are working with him to get Iceman and Firestar out of hell. And when he does that, he explains to Iceman and Firestar what the BAMFs are. And apparently, the BAMFs are kind of like these sort of slug creatures that were born in the depths of hell, and Azazel found them, and he apparently, this is where it gets a little weird, but he fed them his blood, and that allowed them to sort of take on the whole mini Azazel form, and also get the ability to teleport. And when Nightcrawler explains how he was able to how he caught one of the BAMFs in heaven, and he made a deal with them, and that he promised them something else, and that caused them to sort of switch loyalties and turn from red to blue. And when Firestar asks what did he promise the BAMFs his blood, and he says no, I promised them something else, but we don't know what it is. And so then the next thing that happens is that other flashback I mentioned with Wolverine. It occurs when North Star and Wolverine are in Purgatory, which is apparently which, if you saw on the cover, is just this huge ice land. And Wolverine's trying to trek on. He's trying his hardest, but he's slow. He's getting hypothermia. He's almost ready to quit it. And he gets a flashback to when he's speaking to Kurt in a bar, and he says to him, like, I'm going to die one day alone. And Nightcrawler promises him that, if you do die, Logan, I'm pretty sure you're going to be surrounded by people who care about you. And right when he's losing consciousness, Nightcrawler shows up, and he's there to see his friend. And it's a really nice moment when Nightcrawler meets Wolverine, and because Nightcrawler and Wolverine, they were tight. Kurt's death really affected him, and so seeing those two reunited again was very nice. And Nightcrawler gets North Star and Wolverine back to the ship, and he tells them, and now that he's got all the X-Men together, he tells them, okay, teams together, we're going to go take out my dad's entire fleet of pirate ships. And that's where the issue ends, with Nightcrawler getting his X-Men together, ready to take on Azazel for the final battle. Okay. This story arc is very awesome. I really loved it. I really like how it's very Nightcrawler-centric. And I think if you're going to get the Nightcrawler ongoing series, which is going to come out in April, then you should read this first story arc from Amazing X-Men, because it does deal with how Nightcrawler's coming back. Also, it's really great how we're getting these scenes where we get to see Nightcrawler, these like special moments that Nightcrawler has with certain members of the X-Men, Storm, Beast, Wolverine. And if you're a big fan of the Wolverine Nightcrawler friendship, you're also gonna like this issue because of what I said when Logan has the flashback, and then when he's finally reunited with his best friend. That's great. I loved it. That's why I think Amazing X-Men is definitely a buy. Even if you love Nightcrawler, mainly for the reason that if you love Nightcrawler, or if you're going to get the Nightcrawler ongoing series, that's why this series is definitely a buy. Alright, next up, my last comic from Marvel, and it's also the last issue of Daredevil. That's right, next month Daredevil is going to come back, but it's going to be relaunched at #1, and Matt Murdock is going to be working in San Francisco now. I don't really want to give too much away about this issue because this is a very popular series, and I know why. It's a lot of good things. The way Mark Waid portrays Matt Murdock in this series has been great. The way Matt's been by the side of his friend Foggy Nelson as Foggy's been fighting cancer, and also the whole how Matt's still being accused of being Daredevil, and he's saying, I'm not Daredevil, and how all that changed on the last page of the last issue where he pretty much went on the bench and said, I'm Daredevil. Well, that's dealt with in this issue. The Serpent Squad story arc is also dealt with this issue. Pretty much everything that Wade's done on the series is pretty much kind of coming to an end on this. But he's still writing Daredevil with another #1 coming out next month. But the only difference will be that this new Daredevil series will take place in San Francisco now, for reasons that are explained in this issue. Sorry I can't really get too much into the plot, but overall, if you've been loving Daredevil, if you've been reading it from the beginning, or you've been trade waiting it, get this issue. It's awesome. It's really great. It's the ending of this Daredevil series, but it's also leading into the next one, and I think that's great. I really like how it closes a number of things that were dealt with in this volume of Daredevil, and how it's sort of leading us into what's going to happen to Matt Murdock next. So, yeah, I can't wait for the next Daredevil series. I really love Mark Waid on this title. I really hope he keeps writing Daredevil for a really long time. Okay, that's it for my comic review. Two little pieces of news if you didn't already hear. On Tuesday night on Jimmy Kimmel, the first full-length trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy was released, and it is awesome. It looks so good. I was skeptical about this movie because, well, it's going to be part of the Marvel Universe. However, it's not really... The Guardians of the Galaxy aren't really well recognized, I think, outside of the comic books because, they're also going to be dealing with Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Like, those names are recognizable. These guys, not so much. But I think that is going to change once this movie comes out because It looks great. It kind of looks like a great. It reminded me of a lot of great my favorite science fiction franchises like Star Wars, Firefly. It has that same feel to it, which is great. Also, there are clips out right now that introduce each member of the Guardians, and there Bradley. So there was a clip out with Bradley Cooper voicing Rocket. But from the full-length trailer, though, I did like. It does kind of focus a little bit on Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, but I think that looks great. I think I'm gonna like Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. Can't wait. Now I seriously can't wait for Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, and another thing, Fox finally announced the cast for the Fantastic Four reboot, and they are actor Miles Teller will be portraying Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards. Michael B. Jordan, who was pretty much way attached to the well, I wouldn't say he was confirmed, but it was rumored he was attached to the star in the film as the Human Torch. Well, yeah, that's true. Michael B. Jordan will be portraying Human Torch and Johnny Storm. Also, Kate Mara will be portraying the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. Jamie Bell will be the Thing, aka Ben Grimm. How do I feel? I don't really have much of an opinion on this cast. I'm not really familiar with most of these actors. I do know that Michael B. Jordan I did see Michael B. Jordan in Chronicle, though. I thought he was pretty good in that movie. So, and if he brings like that, some elements of the character he had in Chronicle to Johnny Storm, I think he'll do well. But the other guys, not so much. For Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan were cast in that awkward moment when your two other co-stars were cast in the Fantastic Four reboot and you weren't. Yeah, okay, that was a bad joke. Fantastic Four reboot cast, I'm still on the fence about it. I mean, I want to wait until more details about the movie and the plot are released officially, and also I'll probably have more of an opinion once they release the first trailer. Once the first trailer comes out, probably sometime next year. So yeah, that's it for me. That was pretty much everything. Hope you liked my comic reviews. Hope you like me mentioning a few comic book news. If you want to see more of that adds to my weekly videos. Let me know in the comments. Also, if you want me to talk about any other things in another video, leave some comments with some video topics. Again, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you aren't subscribed, please do so if you like this video and you want to see more. Also, everyone who is subscribed to me, thank you for watching. Keep sticking with me and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.